mean, it's all downhill from here. And we've only got like, what, 0.7 to go? 0.7 downhill. We got it. Yep. And there's water.
Negative critiques is just...
We're on a nice flat part right now. How are we feeling, guys? Almost fell.
I always like traveling south. It feels like you're going downhill.
I'll stop for a second. Just take this in. This is what we're hiking. And it's absolutely beautiful.
Mild breeze, it's not bitey.
Alright, so let's just stay on.
Layers.
Yeah, we're doing layers. So she's doing temperature control right now. She's hot.
I usually wear a jacket, but the jackets were way
She's
too
got
hot.
on
So.
3 layers right now.
Oh, my thumb holes.
Oh no.
It's my thumb holes.
So I really recommend layers, not bulk. She's got on 3 layers. She's doing fine. I've got on 2 layers, and I'm kind of warm. But if I take this off, I'll be cold.
Right. This is what I hiked in.
As you can see, I'm covering my core, not my arms.
Yeah, this is what I hiked in at, and it was perfect. The cuddle buds.
Your extremities is where you lose the most heat because that's where the most heat goes. It's a smaller area.
Right.
Your fingers don't have much meat to keep the heat, whereas your core does. So if you keep this warm, you're basically creating a radiator. Your body will cool off with your fingertips and your toes and your head if you uncover them. Your core temperature will stay nice and hot. So when the blood comes back, it takes that heat, takes it back to the extremities, loses that heat into the air. Just keep that in mind. It can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing.
Right.
I feel like we're like in the mid-40s. I apologize.
You're good. Mid-40s. It's probably my mid-40s right now.
Mid-40s, and normally sitting around the house or outside in the mid-40s would not be enough for one like short sleeve wool thing and a cheap long sleeve t-shirt, but we're hiking. And yes, it's shaded in the woods, but we have weight and warmth on our backs as well. So
to the layers thing, you want multiple thin layers and not one big, heavy, perfect jacket. Because then you've only got 2 temperatures, hot or cold.
And don't forget your windproofing. Something outside with a sleek surface like waterproof or wind resistant, like a windbreaker. It's thin, you fold it up, you toss it away, but when you put that thing on, it cuts the wind and your body temperature goes up.
Yep.
And I hiked in most of our food. I am hiking out our trash because leave no trace behind.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's right.
So this is my Extreme Comforts car cushion that I got. It's got gel in it. Had a back injury a few years ago and still have sciatic issues sometimes when I sit too much and I drive a lot. I love it in the car, and it doesn't. How much would you say this weighs, babe? Like thing. It's pretty light.
About 24 ounces.
Yeah. Anyway, it has a little handle at the top, so I hiked it out to use actually to put under our pillows for a little extra neck and head support. But we are here on Crawford Rock, and I've had it clipped to the outside of our backpack cooler, and it is so nice to sit on. He's got a nice one he's sitting on too that's re-inflatable. And then we have some.
Weighs 1.5 ounces and it's made at Bass Pro Shop. It's a little butt seat.
Yeah, his you fill with air. And then we have some of the little ones that look like the sugar wafer cookies somewhere amongst all of our gear in there. I just want to mention that it's great, and I use it. I've been using it for this trip as well as always in my car. So, yep, it's awesome. Here's Crawford Rock. This November the 10th.
We have a gear explosion for you, which I know you guys love. We've got some products we're going to talk about and recommend, and some products that we're going to disavow forever. Don't ever. Okay. So the wife and I, the lovely wife and I, the wife has decided she wants to start hiking with me. Part of being out in the woods more, part of her spiritual healing. The woods do call to all of us, whether you know it or not. And yes, I'm talking to you.
So I greatly enjoy spending time in the woods. I've enjoyed learning how to hike with weight on me. I've never done that before, and it's something where you can disconnect from all the digital world and everything else as well. You get to be out in nature and experience all the sights, the sounds, the smells, and learning more and spending time with the husband. I really enjoy it.
Thanks, babe. All right, quick gear breakdown, quick concept. When you're couple hiking, you can do a couple things differently. So right now for the one-dayers, just the one-day hikes, or excuse me, a day hike, spend the night, hike back in kind of stuff, she's decided she wants to take the responsibility of the food and water, and whatever gear puts me over the limit of like 18 pounds. And I'm hiking all of our gear. We're gonna ultralight hike, dial that down better and better and better, especially with what Santa's bringing.
To me or to you?
And
Santa's bringing him something awesome too. It's gonna change
I'm excited. I've been a good boy, Santa. I've been a good boy.
I've been trying to hold back. Do you know that there are tandem sleeping bags? I had no idea. Sorry, I'm just been.
Okay. So we're gonna dial that in. I'm gonna hike the equipment. She's gonna hike the food and water. She should have a lighter load than me, but that's kind of the purpose of how we're doing the setup. You know, she's smaller. She needs to carry less weight. I'm larger. I should carry more weight. More weight than her. All right. So here's a quick breakdown of what we brought so far. So you're first, babe. Dive in.
So layering your clothes is really important, and more so when you're hiking. When you go outside, if you're like, oh wow, it's really, really cold, go ahead and leave yourself at that point. Just a little cold, because once you get exercising and you're carrying weight, you're gonna realize, wow, I'm really, really hot now. So it was in the 40s, is that right?
We started out hiking in the 40s, and then we slowly got down. It got down to the 30s, and then as we were at our maximum elevation of 3,800 feet, plus the nighttime cool air, it got down to the mid-20s.
Right. So normally for me in the 40s, I'm cold natured. I'm gonna want like 2 pair of pants, probably like thermals or something underneath my jeans, plus a couple shirts, jacket, coat kind of thing. When we hiked up, I was simply wearing some old jeans and an undershirt plus a wool short sleeve shirt. I started off with a jacket and had to peel it. So I started off with thermals as my base layer when I slept at night, and then I had the buff, which I highly recommend to everyone. You can use it for so many different things. If it's cold or if it's warm, regardless, it keeps the sweat off of you. It also keeps you warm. It's an extra layer. It keeps the sun off you as well. And then I have amazing Darn Tough socks, which have a lifetime warranty. I cannot recommend these enough. Like seriously, you get a hole in them, you mail them back, they mail you another pair. They're amazing. I wore day gloves part of the time. Sometimes at hiking it was a little bit hot and I was worried about getting blisters with the trekking poles, but that was not an issue at all. But it's nice to have them handy if you need them. Handy. This is a down coat smooshed into this bag.
It's a Chinese knockoff. I think we paid $40 for it, but it should keep her warm up to, I think, 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was good. I slept in that, and it kept me warm. And then I had warm gloves, which I don't think I wore those at all, did I?
Well, we had these just in case. She had these. We got these from Bass Pro Shop. Big, thick, thermal, super fuzzy hunting gloves. But I was worried about her staying warm, so she was meant to have the day pair, and then hike up to also put her day pair into these if things got really cold, and then she had hot hands on top of that, just in case that wasn't enough. She's so frail and thin, I was worried about her, keeping that warmth.
I thought I might need these to sleep with too, and just but we didn't.
Place on your core if you ever use them. It really helps out a lot. So that was her main gear, the clothing that we had. But she insisted on having pillows because it would help her.
Well, I have a long neck and long hair, so.
Well, here's one of my pillows. So this is the Eagle Creek medium-sized bag. It's the Sil nylon stuff. It is ridiculously ultra light without anything in it. It's from the Packet series or whatever. And this is what I packed both my clothes and her clothes in. And it's got everything in here. So why don't you tell them why you have all this stuff in here and what's its purpose?
This is my schmog, which I can use for layering, keeping the sun, extra warmth, whatever you need.
All the survivalists right now just did a big fist pump.
Also, for those of you who don't know, a schmog is basically a cheap scarf.
It's not cheap.
Well,
It's
no.
durable.
Right. I have leg warmers for obvious reasons. I did sleep in these. They were amazing. This was your hat for your noggin.
Yeah, this is my outdoor research down beanie when I'm just too cold. I don't know. This thing weighs, I think, 0.7 ounces or something like that. It does fit inside of its own little pocket, but it down lasts longer if you keep it aloft better. Anyways, this thing will cook me up every time. I can't recommend down beanies enough for sleeping.
Didn't you take it off when you got hot?
Oh yeah, I got ridiculously hot.
I never ended up wearing this, but it's baklava, which I greatly enjoy because my nose gets cold a lot.
Nose and ears.
Mm-hmm. And then I never ended up wearing this either, but it's a cool scarf you bought for me.
It's a
in
bougie,
Savannah.
fancy scarf from Savannah.
Thick and nice and fleecy and warm. And then, oh, these are my really old big cuddle duds that I actually wore when I slept. I had on the newer thermals that fit me over my baggy old jeans, my old jeans, and then these on top of that, and then the leg warmers, and I was warm.
So your layers went thermals, leg warmers, blue jeans?
They went thermals, then jeans, then thermals that are bigger, and then leg warmers.
And that's how you were warm?
And I was warm.
That's 4 layers.
In 20 degrees. I was warm that way. So.
All right. We had a pair of extra long darn tufts for me.
And I believe, oh, I saw thumb holes. Oh, this is yours though, isn't it?
Yeah, these are my thermals.
You have thumb holes in the top too. That's
yeah,
awesome.
so I had a pair of thermals for me as well, which I ended up wearing. And, you know, I had thermals on, top, bottom thermals, and a pair of Fall Raven pants. I ended up starting out with both pairs of darn tufts on, and then ended up taking both pairs of darn tufts off, and my jacket and my shirt, and I just slept in my thermals and my 2 layers of base pants. I was sweating. It was terrible. Well, I defeated the cold. It was 21 degrees outside of the tent, and we got it up to, I don't know, I'm guessing somewhere in the mid 60s inside the tent, just of how completely insanely warm I was.
We were in our sleeping bags and those things that didn't work at all.
Yeah, okay.
But
So
then
why do we have this?
This has a thin taper, but a little bit fatter than about that big around
It has
taper.
a 9-hour taper candle in it.
That goes inside of it, and it puts off heat. It illuminates the tent somewhat, but it puts off heat. And since you're in the tent and it's enclosed or whatever, it helps to.
Yep, it's stainless steel. It's, you know, almost. I wish it was old school like the brass ones because those things are bomb proof, but this is still really good. And this did heat up the tent, and you know, it's just the original candle lantern. We got it from Amazon. You know, there'll be a link down below. But I recommend this kind of stuff. It was kind of a motivational thing for her, and it also kept her warm.
I knew that one of the reasons we took the tent was because we do have a tandem hammock. They can be uncomfortable to sleep in, but I was really worried about staying warm, especially if you're not near a fire and you can't keep the fire going all night. We really needed a tent.
And there was 3 of us, so I brought the tent just in case. We went tent camping this time, just in case, you know, things went bad with Trey at the time, that he'd be able to hop in our tent with us. So that's all gear, you know, Fall Raven, Darn Tough. I recommend all this stuff. Eagle Creek, Buff, amazing stuff, right?
So these are the items that I carried. One is I wanted this as it's super lightweight gel kind of thing that I use when I'm driving. I wanted to use it as extra support to put under our pillows to sleep on, but then I thought it would be nicer than the little thin waffle pad things to sit on as well, and it's got a strap, so I knew it would be easy to carry. And it really doesn't weigh hardly anything. It's less than a pound, so I knew it would be just extra comfort. These are our Swiss 0-degree sleeping bags. They weigh 5.16 pounds each, and we have little carabiner snaps on them that we attached to this for me to carry. So, and they kept us warm. Like at one point I was so warm that I uncovered a little bit and then got back to temp and then went back. We recently went on a local hike in Savannah, and when we were carrying a cooler bag that was cutting into my shoulders, we realized we needed a cooler backpack, so we got this one. It has the nice little shoulders, a little bottle top on it. It has this compartment in the top where you could keep things for handy use. We've got a little flashlight here. And then the plates fit into this outer compartment here. And then this is, I love this little bag. These are a set of 4. My bad. We only use 3. This is a spoon, a fork, and then this is kind of a little knifey piece on the end. And it's by Zpacks. Anyway, they're not extremely lightweight like husband's titanium spoon. He has really long, nice titanium spoon that we ended up eating with as well. So anyway, but there are lots of different compartments and things in here, plus the outer pouches where I kept wipes and stuff. The silverware I recommend. I really enjoy using it. It's not titanium, but it's durable and it's easy to clean, and it comes in this little pouch so you can keep up with stuff easily. These were just super cheap plates or whatever. This is the Ultralight 3T EOS flashlight, which we used when we were moving around doing things at night. I actually have an Ultralight that I love as well that I keep on my keychain. It's like that big. It's amazing. Everyone loves it. I highly recommend this bag. We had 3 large bottles of water, we had 2 Cokes, and we had 2 mics in here, as well as 2 really nice big ribeyes. This being packed full of food. I might have had some chocolate in it somewhere as well, but it was like snacks and stuff. And I put, and my hairbrush. I had my hairbrush in the outer pocket as well. I basically had 12 pounds of food plus this bag, and then 11 pounds of the sleeping bags, and then 1 pound for the butt pad thing, whatever. But I highly recommend it. It's really well made. It's durable. We had no issues with the zippers or anything else like that, and no issues with leaking or anything else. So, but I love it. It's super comfortable, and it also has a bottle opener for rain with the money bottle opener. But I love it. It's great. So.
This is the Expedition Research Grill. I brought this because we had the steaks. I don't normally bring it, but it is stainless steel. It does come in its own little pouch because it's going to get a little nasty when you're hiking, but it's fantastic for survivalists. All survivalists right now should have this or know what this is. This is the titanium Snow Peak 750 boiling pot. This is the Frozo titanium wood, what is it? Burner, yeah. It does fit in this little green bag, and I do put it with a lighter, a mini Bic lighter. And I've got fuel in here, and this beautiful thing from GSI. It's got salt and cayenne. I can't recommend this enough if you like seasoning, which I do. This is my entire cook kit set up. All right, moving on. I've got my buff. I've got the short buff that I like more because I don't get hot more than I get cold. I've got an emergency fire kit, which it's got all kinds of good stuff in here. That's the survivalist side of me talking. It doesn't weigh much, I think 0.3 ounces. I've got 2 Bics, a mini and a regular. I got Max Deep Bug Spray, and I've got the Ultralight S1R Baton 2 flashlight, rechargeable. Highly recommended. All right, so now you're seeing this fan. I'm kind of laughing. I'm one of those guys that has to have a fan at night to sleep. So I've got a USB powered dual fan. This is the one I brought with me, but it's not the one I recommend. There's gonna be an entire another video for that. Now I've got my ditty bag, which has got my medicine in it, and it's what I hike with my license and stuff in it. It's water resistant, not waterproof, but really good. 2 batteries. These are both Anchors. This is the 10,000 milliamp. This is the 20,000 milliamp. Both, I recommend both of these. I recommend Anchor batteries, power packs, 100%. This is the one I normally hike with because it's lighter, but it's only 10,000 milliamps. I figured I would start hiking with the 20,000 or maybe even both because I want to run my fan. But check out the fan video to see how long it lasts and how effing amazing it is. We have a emergency towels, emergency washcloths, but toothbrush, there is toothpaste that I got taken out of the bag, and some sanitizer, hand sanitizer to keep you clean, wet wipes to help us do dishes and stuff, but we pack all this stuff out, and shit tickets, or TP. I recommend TP. Alright, outdoor research, raincoat just in case it decided to rain or I needed an additional layer for some reason. And then we'll go back to the bottom here. This is the Silky Gomboy. I can't recommend it enough. There's an Amazon link below. If you don't have a folding saw or you want to upgrade your folding saw, you need to get the Silky. Something on the Silky brand. A lot of people like the Zpacks. I like the foldables better. I own the Pocket Boy, Gone Boy, Katana Boy. I own them all. But I recommend the Gone Boy for hiking. All right, then there's my Mora. Hikers will tell you don't need a knife. You just don't. So hikers would ditch this, my Mora and my Gone Boy immediately. But all my survivalists out there would understand why I have them. We can do a lot of things with Mora, a Gone Boy, and a lighter. We have the Eagle Creek Sil Nylon packet, medium size for all the clothes and everything. We have these 2 sleeping pads, which I do not recommend at all. Then I could have, since we had the tent, I could have not packed my double nest Eno, which is also kind of a heavy hammock as far as hammocks are concerned, and the Atlas straps, which are by far the heaviest as far as hammock suspension goes. But I packed them anyways because I just wanted somewhere to relax and count stars with the wife. I have my hammock gear. This is my 0 degree under quilt, and this is my 30 degree top quilt. I really recommend hammock gear. They're not a sponsor or anything like that, but I just can't speak to how amazing they are. These are extremely light. This is a little bit bulky, but it keeps you alive. This is 0 degrees right here versus that 0 degree sleeping bag that weighed 5.16 pounds, and I think this weighs right in at 2 pounds or less.
Well, we were in 20-degree weather looking at the stars, weren't we, with that? And
Yes.
stayed relatively warm.
Oh, super warm.
So.
And then I hiked with my red and black diamond trekking poles, and the wife hiked with the gold and silver black diamond trekking poles. This setup weighed in at 18.6 pounds or 18.1 pounds, and there's a lot here I could cut, a lot here I could upgrade. Big things I would upgrade are the sleeping pads and the tent, but I'm just never gonna, as a survivalist, I'm never gonna go into the woods without these 2 pieces of equipment. So it's just the way it is. Some things will never change.